Happy New Year, everyone. It's Ashley at Court Reserve, and I am so excited because we have heard your cries for help. We are starting our weekly Lunch and Learn series this week. Every Thursday at 1 o'clock, it's a 30-minute call, and we're going to teach you something new every single week. Now, you do need to register every week. So you can jump out to Court Reserve, go to resources, go to webinars, and sign up for the weeks that you know that you want to be educated. Thank you to Kim and Josh for coming alongside today and being our very first teachers. They are pros at this. So, what's going on here? We have some upcoming things that you guys need to be aware of. We are doing another mastermind coming up in March. If you want to know anything about pickleball business, how to keep people on your court, off your court, how to do marketing, how to set up your memberships, we encourage you to come with us out to Utah. March is a great time of year to go skiing, so you could stay through the weekend. But we really encourage you to go out to the Mastermind website, clubpickleballmastermind.com. You can book a call with Devin. He'll tell you all about it. And the best thing about Mastermind is after you go, there's a monthly Zoom call with all the other people that have attended Mastermind over the last 2 years. Every month, I get something out of that for my own pickleball club here in St. Augustine, Florida. So it's a great event. What you should really know about is that we are back. Catalyst is back. It is our training session that we love to do with you guys. The first one is here in beautiful St. Augustine. I mean, who doesn't want to come to St. Augustine, Florida in January? I'm in shorts today, people. So we're actually doing a bonus day. So we're going to start at 1 o'clock on January 28th, and we're going to have an entire afternoon of best practices and roundtables with all the attendees. So we're about halfway full of the attendees already signing up. We have 20 some people signed up already. So if you want in, go out to courtreserve.com, go to our events page, and you can sign up for Catalyst. And we have actually reduced the price. This year it's $99, and we're going to feed you, and you can play pickleball for free. I mean, what else do you have to do in January, right? Come spend a day with us, because Kim and Josh are going to be there too. So I'm going to turn it over to them. And the way the Lunch and Learns are going to work is we're going to do a 15-minute teaching, and then we're going to answer your questions. And then you get to go and go back to work. So take it away, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So I'm going to still be sharing my screen here. And today we are covering event filters in Court Reserve. And so to start, I'm going to give you really an idea of what I'm talking about so you can visualize it. Let me go screen off here so I am not in the recording when this gets uploaded to YouTube later. But today I'm gonna show you a good example of how these event filters are used to just kind of give you an idea of what we're building. And every time I've kind of presented this in any of our catalysts that we have done over the last few years, clubs always come to me and say, wow, I had no idea that you could do this. This is great. And it always kind of takes us on a little bit of a tangent to just kind of show people how to do this. So we're like, this would be a great lunch and learn opportunity for everybody. So we're going to start at the UST National Campus here in Orlando. Beautiful facility if you've never been, but they are a great example for how to utilize these event list filters. So it's a really great way to market events on your anonymous website or on your anonymous member portal page. So I haven't logged into their site here yet. So you can really showcase those events. One of the things right now is you can't actually see the event list on the anonymous page unless you are logged in. So you can only really see the full event list if you're logged in. However, if you create these event list filters, this gives you a public way of displaying these events in that list form, and it allows you to really help people navigate what you're offering. A lot of our clubs, have so many event categories. They have so many different types of event tags. There's different sessions and all of that stuff. So how do I really narrow these things down to what my audience is truly interested in and help them really navigate and find what they're interested in? So we're starting just on their anonymous page on the member portal. And as you see up across the top here, they have a couple of different headings that they want to make sure that people are seeing the first time they come to their site. First one here they have is winter programs. Then they have these adult camps. So these are actually two different drop downs that they've created within their member portal navigation or their menu options. And I'll show you that here in a few seconds. And then they've utilized these with sublinks. So these are actually menus that now drop down. And when I click them, I am navigated to filtered lists that are already targeted down to a specific event category or just very specific search options. So when a player is coming and just wanting to know what we're all about, what kind of events do they offer, when can I come play? They're going to be taken specifically to these events based on how you've already filtered them for them. So I'll show you how to set all this up here. But as you can see, there's a lot that you can do with this. And then the other cool thing is that when you create these filtered event lists, we give you the URL. So you can take that URL just to these specific lists. You can put them on Facebook, Instagram, you can do email blasts, you can market them in any way that you need, just so you can get people to get down to these lists without having to, get to your member portal. You can use your member portal as a marketing tool. That's great. But these really funnel people into those things that interest them most. So let's jump in to how we do this. And I'm going to start here on my member portal, okay? Or not my member portal, my admin side here of CourtReserve, okay? So the first thing you're going to want to do is first, you got to make sure you have some events created. These filters don't work unless you have 1, 2, 3, 100 events created. So you'll want to make sure that you have some events in your list to really start the search from, okay? I also wanted to throw out there, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to use the Q&A section. I know, thank you, Josh, for throwing that in here. I was supposed to say that when I started, but the Q&A section can be found in the navigation of your Zoom. But we like to take those questions and make sure we answered them later. And so it's a great way to get those questions answered as we go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, again, check I have events created. 2, you're going to go to settings. Navigate down from settings into your portal settings row. That's where your settings for website lives. So you're going to want to go to website. Now from here, I was here last on event filters, but from here, you're going to get to your general setup page or general setup tab. The first thing you're going to want to do is to navigate over to event filters. So let's create the first event filter. Once we have that first filter created, I'll show you how to put it in the navigation up at the top. So the first thing you're going to do now is you're going to go to create event filter. From here, we're going to name it. So let's just call this adult clinics. Just simple. And then you can give it a navigation name. The difference between name and navigation name, this just determines what it's going to look like publicly versus what it looks like on the back end of your system. In most cases, you're probably going to make them the same. Now, let's just make it the way that the National Campus had it in their view. So they were just really filtering all of those by specific categories. So I'm going to choose adult social and adult clinics just to give you an idea of how this works. And then really, there's a lot of different things that you could do here. So anything that you could search by, you can create a filter for. So if I wanted to create a filter for all of the lessons for a specific instructor, like all of the clinics that a specific instructor is leading, I could do that here. I could also say, these are all of my weekend clinics. Or my favorite thing that I used to do with these event filters was build out a specific filter for my summer camps. And so I would use, because my summer camps had multiple event categories, and I really wanted to narrow down what the audience was viewing. And so I would create my event filters, but then I would do my pre-filled search option. And I'm going to show you an example of this too, if we have enough time. But in my pre-filled search option, I would type summer camp, and then I would get a filtered list of just all of my summer camps. And so it was just really a great way to give people very targeted lists and then market those targeted lists too. So there's a lot here that you can do. Is active. Just make sure if you come into our support team saying that this link isn't working, that you make sure that is active is checked. That's the first thing we're going to look at, okay? The next thing is show filter and events tab on the member portal. I actually answered a question on our idea board just this week about how do I make a list of things for a specific session that just shows up under my event list. This would be the setting to do that. So you would go create an event filter, the page we're on now, make sure this box is checked, and I'll show you what that looks like when the member logs in. So when the member logs in, this is going to make it so that this list will appear under the event list when they go hover over that event list. So we'll show you all of it, but that's what the setting does. So when the member logs in, they can actually see this filtered list as well. And then you have some membership options behind that. All is probably the best choice, but that's up to you. Allow filtering on display. This is going to hide the filter option, which is sometimes a good idea publicly. That way, when people come here, they're not going to change or manipulate your filters and then not really know what they're looking at anymore, maybe. But that's up to you. You know, the national campus, they view theirs. In some cases, I would hide it if you wanted ones, maybe a specific event list for tournaments, and you were just going to be using this publicly. You know, you could just make it so people don't filter it and kind of mess up your filters. Again, it would only mess it up for themselves. If they refresh their page, it's probably going to reset it. So, and then hide ineligible events with no remaining spots. So that's just going to say if the player is looking at this and the event is full, it's not going to show it. I always say no harm in showing things that are full because it kind of entices people to sign up earlier. But anyway, all right, so we've set this event filter for my adult clinics, and we're going to hit save. All right, so now that I've hit save, you can see a couple different things have happened here. I can copy this URL now. I can also navigate back to event filters. This is a newer feature I think that I added in the last year just based off of a really good quick pick idea that we found was just simply copy the filter. So I'll come back here probably in a few minutes when I create the next one, but we can copy the filter, make a couple tweaks, and create a brand new filter at the same time, just like you would copy an event. All right, so let's take this filter. I'm just going to open up an incognito window here just so we can quickly look at our work here. All right, so now you can see that I have filtered directly to the organization's member, or not member portal, anonymous portal. So the member hasn't logged in yet, but I can see all of these events that this organization has listed just under these two categories. So again, it's a great way to just really narrow down that search for people and target the customers that might be looking at your club for the first time. But now let's go one step further and add this link to our header link so there's multiple things for them to look at, okay? So I'm actually going to do just what I said. I'm going to copy this filter just so I have two, and you can see what the drop downs look like. Junior clinics, and then let's just make this junior clinic. Okay, we're going to save that one. Okay, back to my filters. Now I have two filters with two unique URLs. So one will take me to adult clinics. The other one is going to take me to junior clinics, okay? But let's make these viewable for people so they can actually see them before they log in, because we did add them to the logged in member view, but now we have to make them public so anybody coming to your portal is going to be able to see them. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go, so from this step, you're going to go over to menu, okay? So this is a menu that is going to control that header up at the top of your portal, whether you're anonymous logged out or you're logged in, okay? So starting from the top to bottom, this is going to go left to right. So when a member can see everything, they would see events, memberships, reservations, book a pro, this tutorials button, which goes to YouTube, open reservations, announcements, all of that good stuff, okay? So let's add a header link. So as you can see right now, the only ones that I think I have visible here are memberships and reservations. So that's because I have my custom scheduler, I think, visible to non-logged in users. So let's create another drop down there for players to look at the programs that we're offering, okay? So we're going to go create a header link. Then you're going to name your header link. So we're going to name it Register Today. All right. Now here you have a link URL. Link URL is going to be an optional field at this level. You could create a button up at the top in your header there that links to a specific link, and take them somewhere else. Let's say you have an external waiver that needs to be signed. I've seen that done. Or you want to take them back to your main marketing website, or you want to take them to YouTube to see your company's YouTube channel. Like, that's up to you. So you can create a dedicated link off of the button that we're going to create there up in the header, or you can just save it, and then that's going to become the header link. And now I'm going to add some sublinks to that header link, okay? So let's create a sublink that's called Adult Clinics that matches the URL that I created. And I should have duplicated my tab here a second ago, and I just didn't do that. So let's go get that Adult Clinics URL. So we're going to copy that URL, and then we're going to paste it here into the link URL. So now I have some choices here. I can display this to anonymous users or logged in users. I'm going to display it to everybody just so I don't have to change it for my members that are maybe log in later, so they still see the same thing. So save that one. We're going to go back to the same thing here, and we're going to copy the URL for junior clinics, and we're going to do the same thing, create a sublink, paste that in, and save. So now when I go back, let's see, there's no other save button on this page. Perfect. So now when I go back to this anonymous view of the member portal or the portal itself, I have a new button up at the top of my heading that says register today. Okay. When I go to it, I get a drop down. So the first time somebody comes here, they're going to see this register today drop down. And then they can click adult clinics, they can click junior clinics, and they're going to filter and see all of the specific things that I want them to see in this view. It's great. It's such a great way to get people to get into your club and really understand what you're offering. And then I can go over here and go to junior clinics and do the exact same thing. So definitely a lot of ways that you could utilize this. Again, remember all of the different filters that we had there that were available for people to check out. I did want to give you an example of that summer camp one that I mentioned, because this was one I was so excited with the way that it worked every single time. So we're just going to make one here called summer camps. And this is perhaps one that we will cover. I think we might have a lunch and learn later this year about just setting up summer camps in general and how to do that and how we would recommend doing that. But let's just create one really quick for summer camps. Now, my facility right here, I've actually got two different types of summer camps. I have a summer camp for 10 and unders, and I have a summer camp for 11 and up. Okay, so how could I even just create an event filter that would allow parents to know, oh, they've got summer camps, but look, they're doing a 10 and under and an 11 and up. So when they come to the page, they don't have to search through all of the different age categories and the different weeks that I offer. So what you could do in that case is I've made sure that my summer camps, and I'll show you this really quickly here in my event list. So my summer camps are all named Summer Camp Week 1, Summer Camp Week 2, and then I just differentiate by the event which one's 10 and under and which one's 11 and up. And so I'm age restricting them. So I'm making sure the right aged players get in. But if I wanted to make an event list filter to showcase the different age categories, I can do that with this pre-filled search option. Okay, so let's make a summer camp one for 10 and under. And then I'm going to do the category, I think those were under junior camp. And now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do a pre-filled option for 10 and up, or 10 and under, I said, right? Okay, let's do 10 and under. Now, I'm going to leave everything else the same. I'm not going to hide my filtering or anything like that right now. Let's click save and let's add a summer camp filter for each of these. Let's copy this and I'm going to do 11 and up. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to also make this one 11 and up. Save. All right, so now I've got two more filters that I can add as a header and I can actually create a navigation for that header. So let's go to menu. Let's make another header link for summer camps. And then let's create some more sublinks. So let's do a 10 and under camp. Oops, jumping around too many tabs here. I always do this. Okay, filter camps. Let's grab that 10 and under URL, paste it here. Now let's grab that 11 and up URL. Let's just close my event list so I don't get confused. Create a sublink, 11 and up, paste, save. All right, let's go back to this logged out view and see what I've created. Summer camps. There they are. So again, I could take these specific links and use them as specific marketing links in any of my emails that I send out or anything like that. It's a great way to put people into your site and then have them know exactly what's happening. So now you can see that because I used that pre-filtered search, I have something that shows up in here automatically. And then it's going to only show me all of the camps for all of the weeks that I've created that have 10 and under in the list. So any parent that comes here and they're like, oh, my kid's under 10, I just want to see what is for kids that are under 10. I can do that now with these lists. Okay, so definitely check these out. Please utilize these. I also highly recommend these because these filtered lists that you add to your navigation show up really well in the mobile app. I usually have a problem impersonating on the mobile here on my desktop, so I wasn't planning on showing that today. But if you add these links to your menu, like I've done here in the mobile app, on when the player goes in and they're looking at their dashboard, there's an explore more option kind of closer to the bottom under the my bookings. And that explore more section is going to show these links also. And so when you link to them, then your members are going to see these from within the logged in view of the mobile too. That's the mobile browser view and the mobile app. So it's a really cool way for members to be able to find these things that you're wanting them to see as well. I'm really talking about the anonymous thing here, but it's also a great way to entice member engagement within your club too. If you can put these lists maybe right on the dashboard view when they log in and they're on their phones. So it's a great way to market those type of events. You could even create, header links in there that direct to a specific event. So don't forget about stuff like that because it's a great way to get these type of links and these type of things right in front of your members as well when they log in. And I did want to show you one last thing here. When I log in, we're just going to go through this way right here. When I log in the member portal, this is what it looks like for those players when they come in. So they're going to see these buttons over here that we just created. And based on, and it's going to take me back out, but based on how you have that navigation, or not the navigation, the menu sorted, you can control where these lie in this header. So to keep that in mind, I could take this and move this all the way over here. But now in my event list dropdown, here's those ones that I've created. So I need to look at why these are duplicating right here, but I probably called them the same thing and didn't change it. But anyway, so you can actually, have those up in here for your members too. So when they come to the event list, they're not just going to the event list and having to search a needle in a haystack for a specific thing. They're going to be able to go to this event list and click specifically on adult clinics, and they'll navigate exactly to what you want them to see. So easy peasy navigation for your members too. Great, great way to get all of your events really sorted out for people so they don't have to really think about what they're doing. All right, well, that's kind of the end of where I was going to go with this today. Josh, I don't see that we have any questions. We will be throwing this up on YouTube. Usually give us about 24 hours, but we will have these lunch and learns on YouTube when we're done. So if you missed the beginning of the presentation, please go back and watch it later when it's up on YouTube. But thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy your lunch. Don't forget to sign up for our next Lunch and Learn next Thursday at 1 p.m. Go to courtreserve.com/webinars. They're all listed there for you. Ashley, anything else to add today?
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know next week is all about if you're tired of paying credit card fees, how we have some tips and tricks to help you guys save more money and make more money in 2026. So go to the website, sign up today.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Ashley, thanks for having us, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.